Have you ever looked back into your life and realized who made you become the person that you are today? Was it a specific someone, or was it a specific place, or was it an experience or a memory that you experienced? Throughout this speech, I'll talk about someone that changed me in an influential way, a place that made me become an active follower, an experience that I cannot relive again. To start off with this speech, I'll talk about a specific someone that made me change in an influential way. Her name is Mary Gladney. She's one of the sweetest persons that I've ever met on the human planet. Not only does she think about others, she also thinks about my educational and career goals that I have for myself. Every time that I get a chance to be with her, she always asks me how my classes are, how I'm doing, and how my grades. She's the only person that I know so far that has made me change the perspective of how I view my career goals and my educational goals. Most of all, she's also a person that makes me want to enjoy life to the fullest. With all the stories that she has told me of going to different cruises, going to different countries, that's one part that I really want to live, to see how she viewed the world. Also, with all the different adjectives that I would describe Mary, I would describe her as determined. Over the past few years, she experienced some injuries that challenged her. And either way, with each obstacle, every time she has fallen, she's always come back stronger. Even with her smile that I admire so much, and the reason why I say that is because she would count through 1 through 9, and when she gets to 9, she would always smile, the most prettiest and beautiful smile you'll ever see. Now on to the place that has shaped my life in a devotional way. Out of my 19 years of living, I'm not a person that travels as much. The only place that I'll call home is Mary's house and my bedroom. But out of all the places I've visited, the only place that has really changed me in a devotional way is the Immaculate Conception Church. When I was 10 or 11 years old, I joined a group called the Altar Service Group. We would be the people that would help the priest during the Mass ceremony. And I never would have known that I would be there until I graduated high school. I gained relationships within the years that I was in altar serving, and I also gained the most important relationship that I could ever gain, is my relationship with God. We would have retreats that we would go to, and with those retreats, I finally realized that the Immaculate Conception Church is somewhere where I can feel my devotional self through spiritually and mentally, that I've gained a relationship with God and how much I've connected with Him. Now, the experience that I cannot relive again is with my late grandfather. Every other year, they would come from Mexico and visit us, and also my aunts from Kansas. And they came like 6 years ago, and it was the year where I was about to enter my freshman year, and so I was explaining to him my goals that I wanted to achieve, and one of them was being in the top 10%. Obviously, Mexico has a different educational system from what we have in the United States. And so his specific words when I talked about my goals was, when you want to do something, with all what I've been seeing with your goals and your grades and how much you dedicate yourself, I know you'll be there one day, and I'll be proud of you. Just remember the things that you do, dedicate yourself so you can accomplish those dreams of yours. Lastly, 2016 was the last year that he came, but with the passing of my grandfather, it was a struggle for me during high school because I wanted him to see all the accomplishments that I made. But however, in sophomore year, I had a class that one of the teachers told us to write down a word down for us to have for the entire year, and at the end of the year, we would come back and see how much effort we put into that word, and my word was dedication. So mostly every time when I come to that class, I would have my dedication for him and devote myself for my years for him in his memory. Even through high school, I still use dedication, and even till now, I still use the word dedication for my target goal. And I know that he'll be proud of myself of all the accomplishments that I did so far. And as I end this speech, we have talked about a person that has changed me and that I still love today, a place that made me become an active follower and made me gain relationships with the most important person that I could ever experience with. and then an experience that turned into a memory that I cannot relive again. So I ask you to cherish yourself with your loved ones and enjoy those moments with them.